Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Committed Critics, a pop culture podcast where we're not only committed to our opinions, but also each other. Aww. I'm Kevin Lau, and I don't have Zach, Ryan, or Jordan with me today, but I do have three special guests. Special guests, who are you?
Hi, I'm Kyler Giebers. This is my third appearance. I'm very excited to be back.
Kyler's back.
Woo woo!
My name's Tiffany McLaughlin, and this is my second time back.
Actually, this is your first time with time travel and stuff.
Ooh,
yeah, you're
are
right.
we time travelers? That's exciting.
This is coming out before the Spider-Man episode.
Let
Spoilers.
me restart. Let me
No,
don't
it's
redo
fine.
that.
No, it's fine. We can keep it.
Okay, all right. That'll be funny.
Yeah,
It'll be a bit.
it's a bit.
Exactly.
Who's the last one?
Hi, I'm Cassie, and I am also a time traveler.
Whoa. Is this also your second appearance?
This is also my second appearance, but first for you.
Oh. But yeah.
Spooky.
Guess the cat's out of the bag. The next episode later this week is about Spider-Man. But what about Spider-Man? You'll just have to wait to find out.
We just sing the Spider-Man theme song the entire time. It's just 30 minutes of us singing variations on it. So
Yeah.
get
Cassie and I-
stoked.
Cassie and I come as a package deal, so.
Exactly.
Yes, every time.
We did a karaoke night and we recorded it and we're like, yeah, that's an episode.
But for reals, that sounds super fun, and we should do that instead.
Please, I was going to say, that sounds amazing. Please reenact the Spider-Man musical. Please.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh man, sure. Yeah, I think I'm down to do that. I can't sing, but let's try it.
That's what adds to the magic.
We're not talking about Spider-Man right now. Today we're talking about the Oscars, which is premiering tonight on ABC, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 7 p.m. Central Time and 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And yeah, so we're going to talk about our predictions for the Oscars based on what's been nominated and what we would like to win. And so let's go ahead and take turns a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the naming off the nominations for the first category, and then we can, pick and choose who announces next. But first, diving right into it, we have Best Visual Effects. We have Love and Monsters, The Midnight Sky, Mulan, The One and Only Ivan, and Tenet. Cassie, do you want to go ahead and give your thoughts on your predictions first for this category?
Sure. I have a feeling Tenet's definitely going to be up there, but I chose The Midnight Sky because I really liked it, and I thought that the visual effects were really interesting, and I felt like they did a good job of keeping it fairly grounded. So,
Nice.
no, I'm going wild. Going for little George Clooney in my life, okay?
Yeah.
We all
And
need a little Clooney.
Kyler and Tiffany, you both have the same prediction. What's that about?
I think Tenet's not nominated for as much as I thought it would be nominated for this year, but
True.
I think the Academy loves Nolan, and that's just why I think it's going to Tenet.
Yeah, Tiffany kind of took that right out of my mouth. I'm never going to bet against a Christopher Nolan film in the visual effects category. That being said, the visual effects for Love and Monsters would be my personal pick because they're so good. Mm-hmm. I loved that movie. I was like, the visual effects on it were insanely good. So like personally, I'd pick Love and Monsters, but I'm going to go with Tenet because I'm not rooting against Nolan. It's not happening.
That's fair.
I mean, that is super fair.
I don't know. Stick it to the big man. Bye, Nolan. I'm going to...
The one and only Ivan.
No, so I chose Love and Monsters as my prediction because I actually just watched it yesterday and I really like the visual effects of it. There's a nice the use of visual effects to tell the story is actually pretty interesting, and like it is, even though you can tell some of it's CGI, there's a lot of it where I'm like, I'm not sure if this is visual effects. Like I would like to see a VFX breakdown for sure of that movie.
Same, it'd be so cool.
Yeah, and then it's like it's not only just like, oh, it looks cool and spectacular, but also the use of like the creature designs, and how they use the creature designs to also how they animate emotions into the creature designs as well was really interesting. And I know it's really hard to pull off with this style. So yeah, Love and Monsters wins my pick. I think it's a decent movie. I think it's a pretty decent movie. Like I ended up liking it despite feeling like a very simple like young adult post-apocalypse story. it's like, but it's not based on an actual young adult, not based on a novel at all. It's just own original story, which is great. And the writer of that film also wrote and directed another film this last year called Spontaneous, which is also feels like a young adult novel adaptation, but it's actually that one actually is based on a novel, but it's still really fun stuff. So if you like young adult movies, Love and Monsters and Spontaneous, there's a way to go.
That's good to know. Love and Monsters must not have had a marketing budget because I do not remember seeing anything about Love and Monsters. Like,
reason
not
I know
a thing.
that film exists is Dylan O'Brien. I love that man. Only reason I know that film exists is because I saw him.
I saw it marketed quite a bit. Like I kept getting trailers for it, and like and I see the cover all over the place. So like I just kind of knew what it was.
So interesting.
Yeah, it's not I know it's streaming everywhere on Netflix except for the United States, so that sucks. But it's on Blu-ray now, so
yeah. I'll have to check that out after your glowing review, Kevin. Because
my
like
glowing
I did not.
3 out of 5 review.
Is that what you give it? As 3 out of 5?
3 out of 5. It's still good. It's just not amazing.
I mean, and that's fair. I always think that like middle ground rating is so, for lack of a better term, underrated because it's like you can like enjoy something, but it not be like the greatest thing in the world or your favorite thing. But people always assume if it's not great that like you hate it. And I'm like, no, I didn't hate it. It was fine. Like I had a good time while watching it. I'll never watch it again, but it was fine.
I don't know. I think I'll watch Love and Monsters again. I think it's gonna. As I was watching it, like, yes, this is my new guilty pleasure movie. Because there's a dog in the movie and it's great. It's such a wonderful dog.
I love the dog.
Oh well, now I have to go watch it because it has a dog.
The dog literally has a character arc.
The dog does not die, right? Though, Kevin, I won't cry.
Okay.
Oh no,
that would technically be a spoiler, but we can go ahead and say
that's technically a spoiler.
We can go ahead.
I feel like there's a whole website called "Does the Dog Die?" So people can do whatever.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We're not going to recommend something that would scar y'all. That will say
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a lie.
appreciate you
We're
looking
talk
out
about
for
the father
me.
in a minute, but
Yeah. Oh god.
Yeah, The Father. What a movie. Nominated for best film editing. So actually, Tiffany, do you want to go ahead and announce the best film editing nominees?
So the nominees for best film editing are The Father, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and Trial of the Chicago 7.
Ooh. I can tell you that one of them does not deserve to be there.
Oh,
Which
dang.
The last
Hot
one,
take.
Trial of Chicago 7.
the one I think's gonna win.
No.
You know what? Like, honestly, like, they're probably not going to give Trial of Chicago 7 anything, but they'll give them this just because they're weird. But
Because it's Sorkin.
I would assume with a Sorkin, they would
rational.
automatically give it a writing award instead of an editing award.
That's true. That's true.
But Tiffany, you and I had the same pick for The Father for best editing. What are your thoughts on that?
The Father completely blew me away this year. I didn't really know what I was getting into when I saw it, and I think the editing and the production design work very well. They work very hand in hand with each other, and the editing is like very relevant to how the story is trying to tell you what's going on.
Right.
So yeah, it's probably one of the most important parts of the film.
I mean, I don't think it's a spoiler to say that the editing is there to replicate what it's like to have dementia, which is, it's circling around Anthony Hopkins suffering from the dementia and like kind of like going through life. It's based on a play, I believe, too. Yeah, I really love I thought the movie was all right. It has there's definitely some moments I didn't really care for too much, but overall it was still a pretty good movie. But the editing is by far the best aspect of it because of how it molds the story to make you feel those emotions and empathize with Hopkins' experience, the character's experience with dementia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And like you said that it was based on a stage play.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. See, I normally don't like movies. I can tell when a movie or a TV show is based on a stage play because it's probably bad editing, and I can tell, and I'm like, oh man, I don't like it. But this one's really good. So
I'm pretty sure it says
that's
it in the
very
opening
interesting.
credits.
It probably
opening
does.
Credits.
Kevin, I don't know how to read.
No, that's unfortunate. That's why we watch movies anyway.
Yeah.
But that's fair, though. That's like a fair assessment because sometimes people treat adapted like stage plays as stage plays instead of treating them like films as new content. And so whenever you have the opportunity to take something like that and really like utilize the best parts about film versus the stage, and part of that is editing. Like you have the opportunity to like really truly shape what the audience sees, and so it's always nice when something really utilizes that aspect.
Yeah,
for sure. Cassie, what's your pick for best film editing?
I picked Nomadland, which I'm excited about. It's so cool to see because it's kind of a lower budget film. Like, and the person who did it, Chloe, like wrote, edited, produced, directed it, and so I'm just rooting for her all the way.
Absolutely,
Go Chloe.
Yeah.
Nomadland is also was my second pick because I really do like the editing in Nomadland. It's nice, has a nice floaty, dreamlike feel to it, which I think accurately represents what the film is going for and the story it's trying to tell. I made a joke, in my Letterboxd review, is like, it really makes you feel like a nomad, but like, it kind of does with that floaty feeling with the cinematography and the dreamlike editing. Like, things just life just kind of blends together. And like, I think it's really great. So it's a good solid pick, honestly.
It's a phenomenal film. Honestly, it's probably my second pick as well. I picked Trial of Chicago 7 to win because I'm not going to bet against Sorkin in it. It's like, I think the Oscars likes to pick that flashy editing, and that's the film with the most cuts in it.
Gross.
So yep. So like, I'm just going to go with that just because I would love to have Nomadland win because that film is phenomenal. I watched it like right before I was deciding whether or not I wanted to move out to California. And I watched that, and that like completely changed my life. I was like, yep, doing it, moving, doing it. And like, love that film. It's phenomenal.
Nice.
That's awesome.
My pick in this personally, though, I love Promising Young Woman. I love the editing of it. I think the thing about a great screenplay and a great film in general is that editing can make any aspect of a film better. And like the editing of that film just projects that film to this whole new realm, and the cuts that they make and the choices that they make in certain things and showing certain things and not showing certain things, leaving so much up to the imagination. Like it's brilliant. I love it. I love the choices they made. But
absolutely, I agree with you.
I'd love to see any of them win this besides Trial of Chicago 7. But I'm not gonna not pick Trial for this one for me. Like I may change in like 2 hours, but who knows?
No.
Probably going to stick with it.
This is
Also,
recorded.
as a Chicago native.
You're right.
With
This
it,
is
you can't
final. This
change
is
it.
day of. This is day of. This is Trial of Chicago. Fine. I'm sticking with Trial of Chicago 7. That's my story.
I still need to watch. I'm still going to spend the rest of this week leading up to the Oscars watching more nominations. But my choices are also staying this. I can't change it anymore. It's out there.
Yeah. And I kind of root for the Trial of Chicago 7 also because it was shot here in Chicago, which is where most of us are based. And so
I thought it was only second unit was in Chicago.
There was second unit, but they shot different. They shot a couple different stuff here, and so it's like I know who the ADs were, and like that's kind of cool. So it's like I want you to win, Pablo. Shout out to Pablo.
Good job, Pablo.
Great job, Pablo.
Good job, Pablo. But yeah, it's always cool though when, especially because Chicago is a smaller market, when there's something that at least something was shot here. Like you get to support that and support the people around it.
For sure.
All
right. Now up next, best costume design. Cassie, you want to go ahead and list off the nominations?
Sure. Should I put on my best Oscar presenter voice for this?
Please do.
I'll fix it in post.
It'll be oh good. Yes, I'm thrilled about whatever you do with this, Kevin. But so best costume design: Emma, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, Mulan, and Pinocchio. I'm glad that we all were just like, myself, Kevin, and Tiffany were all like, Emma.
Yeah.
I love Emma.
It's probably
I watched
it's a
it.
period
I was
piece.
like, this is winning best costume, like straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a period piece, which is always a shoe-in for costume design stuff. Like,
Absolutely.
as, you can even tell by the things that were nominated were majority like period pieces. If it's period or
Yes.
fantasy, where you get like an ability to really go wild in your choices.
I mean, I
Yes.
haven't seen Mulan or Pinocchio yet. Pinocchio is kind of hard to find right now, but Mulan, I don't feel any need to watch
No,
it.
just don't. You don't have to.
Yeah, I know. I've seen the reviews. I've seen the clips. It looks like trash, but the costumes, I guess, are kind of flowy. But that's also controversial.
I didn't know that until upon reading this Google Doc. I didn't know there was a Pinocchio movie. I didn't know there was a new one.
They make so many Pinocchio movies.
This one's from
Where-
Spain? Question mark.
Oh,
That sounds right.
Okay, that's okay. That makes sense. I really had no idea, and I'm just looking at it now. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I
2020
kinda
in
feel bad.
general was like a weird year, which is why I mentioned like I saw no marketing for Love and Monsters. Like I feel
Yeah,
like
me neither.
none of these movies were marketed. Like I
Yeah.
had no idea until the end of the year when like they were starting to do the nomination run stuff of like that any of these existed really.
Rip.
Like
Valid.
That's
it
true
was very, very small marketing budgets for this past year. And like, yeah, I feel like nobody saw that. Weirdly, nobody saw that many movies. I feel like it was a lot of TV show stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I want a quick correction. Pinocchio is actually from Italy, so it's an Italian film. It's not and the language is Italian, so you have to watch it
cool.
subtitled. So I originally thought this was the Guillermo del Toro one. Like it's like, oh, it came out already, but no, it's not. Like the Guillermo del Toro one isn't out yet.
That's funny.
is it still being made?
I know he's making a Pinocchio one. I don't know the exact.
Yeah, I think it's with Disney,
Ooh.
probably. I wanna
Is
say.
this
I don't know for
2021?
sure.
Yeah, it's 2021. So it's coming out this year. So congratulations.
No
you get
way.
Pinocchio 2 years in a row.
There's no way it's
Say,
coming out this
excuse
year.
Pinocchio.
There's no way that film is coming out.
A new Pinocchio
Okay.
film every year.
Side tangent. Have you guys seen this cast for this 2021
I'm looking at it right now.
Pinocchio?
No.
Finn Wolfhard
Oh.
from Stranger Things. Ewan McGregor is Jiminy Cricket.
Okay.
Christopher
God.
Waltz.
God.
Tilda Swinton. Kate
Okay.
Blanchett.
Oh, wow.
Ron Perlman.
This is insane.
David Bradley.
Anyways, I'm gonna watch that movie.
Whoa.
John
Ron
Turturro.
Perlman is in the Pinocchio?
Yeah.
Plays
Oh
Pinocchio.
my god.
But he uses like his Hellboy voice.
Yes.
Oh, that is
Nice.
insane.
That's
I'm
awesome.
scared.
But
I'd love
Go
to
ahead.
see Emma win, though.
I
It'd be
do
nice.
too.
I love Emma. I did
I
pick
just
Ma
loved
Rainey, though,
Emma.
for costume.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like the costumes and the makeup for that film very much go hand in hand with telling the stories of the characters. And I'm all for costume design that really takes into effect, like, the characters and tells a story within itself, which is why
Yeah.
I'm really mad that Promising Young Woman is not in costume design, despite
Oh yeah.
being iconic already.
Yep.
But I digress on that front.
What else? yeah. No, yeah. Promising
It
Young
would've
Woman
been
had
so
also
nice.
great costume design. I think Emma's still like the best bet, especially with how it also works with the production design as well. Like the colors really pop.
Totally. They do. And they're gorgeous, gorgeous gowns.
Yeah, but I mean that kind of falls back into the thing of like if there's fantasy or like period pieces, like they're going to be the ones that are best up for costume design probably
Yep.
over like a more traditional style or like a more recent period film like Promising Young Woman, which is sad because
Absolutely.
there's just as much work that goes into doing both things. It takes a lot of time and effort and thought.
I would have also loved to have seen Birds of Prey in costume design.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
that
Oh
is-
my
yeah.
god.
Wow.
Costume design
Don't
and
even
visual
get me
effects.
started. Oh my god. I really
It should
thought
be
they were.
in,
Snub.
it should also be in the next category as well.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'd be a little surprised if Mank won best costume design. I'd be very disappointed if Mulan won.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. From the trailer, they look the costumes looked really cool. I'm not gonna lie, but I know why everybody. I know I didn't see Mulan for obvious reasons, but I mean, yeah.
I gotta watch it. I gotta do it for the Oscars.
I know.
See, I have the excuse of I buy Disney Plus for 1 month when Mandalorian comes out. and
Nice.
then immediately cancel my Disney Plus subscription.
I love Disney Plus.
It's worth for WandaVision 2. Falcon and Winter Soldier, we gotta wait one more episode to really see.
Yeah, see,
really
that's on my
bumpy.
list of like bust out watching those things while I have my my 1 month of when Mandalorian comes out.
Yeah.
Final season of DuckTales comes out the end of this month.
A DuckTales. Ooh.
All right, moving on. Best makeup and hairstyling. Kyler, you want to list off the nominees here?
It would be my honor, Kevin. The nominees for Best Makeup and Hairstyling are Emma, period. Hillbilly Elegy. It has a period.
Yeah,
Ma
it
Rainey's
does.
Black Bottom, Mank, and Pinocchio. Very similar to the costume design nominees.
Yeah, just switch out Mulan with Hillbilly Elegy, and there you go.
Yeah,
I feel
my
like there's
God, I
some kind of
forgot
joke
about
to
that
make
movie.
there, but
there easily is. Should I start this one?
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna keep this real simple. I think we could be real short with this one and make it easy. It takes a lot of work to make Viola Davis look terrible. Give them the Oscar.
Oh yeah.
like, come on. Like, I have nothing else to say.
I said this on the Spirit Awards episode, actually. I will never be able to recognize Viola Davis on the street because I feel like every time she's in a movie, she looks completely different.
She looks completely
Yeah.
different.
She's
The
amazing.
only times Viola Davis is not absolutely gorgeous are when she is snot crying and How to Get Away with Murder and the entirety of Ma Rainey, except when she's on stage with some of those gorgeous outfits. Like I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they did it. Like, forget the prosthetic work on Hillbilly Elegy and Mank. Like, Ma Rainey,
Yeah.
like that's it for me. Like, I don't know if they made the nose grow on Pinocchio. It doesn't matter. Ma Rainey, Viola Davis. Thank
You
you.
just like watch the behind the scenes of Pinocchio. It's like super like intense. Like we spent
They
5
spent
days getting
83
makeup on him
hours.
to make it look like wood.
And I said, Viola Davis, not pretty. Oscar.
But no, I agree. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, I think this also deserves the best makeup hairstyling 'cause for what you said. Like everyone looks fantastic in the movie, and Viola Davis, like her, it looks so natural on her too. Even though
Yes.
and it's like, you know, I would never guess that was like heavy makeup or whatever. I'm like, yeah, this is how this person really looks. Then you look, then see if then she posts a selfie on Twitter. I'm like, who is this?
I see her at the
Right.
award shows, and I'm like, they just showed a clip from Ma Rainey. I'm like, that's not the same person. I'm like, imposter.
What about you, Cassie?
Oh, I mean, there's nothing more to be said. It's phenomenal. Like you don't even have to watch the movie. You can just Google like what Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and like look at the images and you'll see just the artistry that was accomplished with this film.
Oh yeah.
It's great.
And what about you, Tiffany?
Yeah, what Cassie just said, because I just did it. Like, I'm just Googling it. Well, the only reason I chose Emma was because, A, I loved the makeup and hairstyling, but, like, I haven't seen Ma Rainey, which is, I'm ashamed, but I haven't seen it yet. But, yeah, no, hold on, my
Are you
computer
changing your
just
vote
froze.
now?
No. My computer froze, and I was like, what the heck is happening? No, I'd be like, if you guys say so, I believe
She
you.
Googled and she saw Viola Davis, and she said,
Yeah.
Viola Davis,
I'm
not
like,
pretty. Oscar.
Oh my God.
Give
It
all the
was like
Oscars.
if my computer froze as I was trying to zoom in on one of the photos, and I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, okay, I'll say Ma Rainey too. That's totally fine.
Hey, we did
We're
it.
all in
Well, just
agreement.
Viola Davis, not pretty Oscars.
Nice. Nice.
That's nuts.
Up next, we have
Gosh.
Best Cinematography. We have Judas and the Black Messiah, Mink, News of the World, Nomadland, Trial of Chicago 7, and unfortunately not Minari.
Yep. Say
That's-
that again.
Yeah. I would swap out Mank with Minari, but that's more my thing. I think probably the actual option would be News of the World. But
Judas really slipped in here. That was a shock for me watching that at
I guess-
5:30 a.m. when
no,
they
Chicago
dropped it. I was
7 has the
shocked.
weakest cinematography of these 5.
I would agree with that as well.
Yeah. Anyways,
Whack.
my vote goes to Nomadland. because of what we kind of said earlier. It kind of like has that nice floaty feeling, but also it's very emotionally motivated as well. We know who to focus on because of the emotions and like the motivation of the scene. And it's just all, and there's some wallpaper worthy stuff as well. It's amazing. It's like a nice best of both worlds right there. But in terms of like camera movement and also composition. What about you, Cassie?
I mean, yeah, again, the same thing. Like, you just look at it and it's a painting.
Mm-hmm.
It's
you know how
so
to feel.
pretty. Yeah. And I think that's an important part of it. Like, you know, there's a reason that filmmaking includes all these different aspects of like costumes and cinematography and writing and production design, and like the cinematography really takes all of the elements and really helps focus and tell the story, because as everything you do has to be in service of story, and Nomadland does that.
Mm-hmm. For sure. What about you, Kyler?
I would 100% agree. At the start of this award season, Mank was the cinematography frontrunner, and then I watched Nomadland, and I was like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen put to film in my entire life. Yeah. So I feel like nothing other than like gorgeous to the eyes I have to add. I'm sure I know y'all already covered all of the other logistics of why the cinematography is actually like brilliant to the story. I said pretty must win. So that's my belief.
Opposite of the last
love
category. So Tiffany, what about your pick? You actually voted for my runner up.
I did. Well, Nomadland is my runner-up, but no, I picked Judas and the Black Messiah for best cinematography because I watched Trial of Chicago 7 and Judas kind of back to back. I either watched them in the same night or 2 nights in a row, and I watched Trial first. Like
Yikes.
we were like we purposely watched it first, and for those who haven't really seen either of the films, they're obviously made by vastly two different filmmakers, but these stories happen in the same world because they're historical, and these stories pretty much happen during the same time. So it was really interesting going, yeah, they overlap too, especially, character wise and story wise. And Trial of Chicago 7 was so all over the place, and, you know, really focuses on like its over layered editing and all this other weird stuff that the cinematography kind of falls flat. I don't know. That's just how I see it. And then like watching Judas and the Black Messiah, which was so much more grounded in its story, and the camera takes its time with each character, what it's trying to show you, framing. Everything is so treated so delicately and intentionally, and I thought it was just beautiful. And that's why I think it's gonna win.
Yeah, for sure. And and then I agree with Judas and the Black Messiah. The cinematography is just amazing, really empathetic, and also just visually stunning. Mank, I didn't really care for too much. It's kind of like it does a weird thing where it's like it tries to look like a 1940s movie, but has like modern day camera movement as well as like clearly shot on digital.
Yes.
Yeah, I hate it.
It was really annoying, but then also had like it had the sound design to make it sound like a 1940s movie, which didn't match with the visuals at all. So it's just super weird.
Yeah. And then if anyone watched News of the World, please make a noise now.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did? Really?
Yeah, I just watched it. I watched it last night.
What did you think?
It was decent. It's a solid 3 out of 5. I mean, it's like it's a story that we've seen many times before of like, a guy needs to protect this girl and then go across the country or whatever.
Gross.
But Tom Hanks was good in the movie. It's just a fun Western movie. I feel like it's a dad movie, that's for sure.
Okay.
That's
the vibe I got.
Yeah, I think it's something like my dad and my sister would watch together. So I'm gonna like pitch it to them later today. But the cinematography was, it was fine. It's not like those empathetic cinematography like Nomadland or Judas and the Black Messiah. It was just kind of like, it just looks really nice.
Yeah.
Which, hey, is a merit.
Yeah,
it's a merit.
Nice. Yeah. That's probably my third pick. And then, fourth Mank, then last Trial of Chicago 7, because I don't know. Trial of Chicago 7 is just flat cinematography.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, Best Production Design. Tiffany, go ahead.
All right. Nominees for Best Production Design are The Father, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Mank, News of the World, and Tenet.
All right. I'm feeling this. I don't think there's anything snubbed really. Maybe
It's a solid category.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, it is there. Never mind.
Yeah. Tiffany, what are your votes?
Well, I could argue all day long that I think Promising Young Woman should be in this production design just because I personally liked it. I love the colors.
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
I love it. Was I don't know why I just
Bravo.
I do
You're correct.
so good. But my pick which I think I wanted to win, and I also think it will, based on kind of what I said earlier about editing, is The Father, because like I said before, the editing and production design go hand in hand with that entire film. Every aspect of the Father in general is just so important to what they're trying to convey, and I think the production design, it's stitched in a way into the editing that kind of messes with your mind and kind of puts you in that mindset of like, you know, what it feels like to have dementia. And I just think it was a really important aspect that they did so beautifully.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. I also picked The Father. I think that after watching that film, getting out of it, like sitting down and thinking about it, I'm like, if the film's production design was not as good as it is, it's perfect, honestly, in my opinion. If it wasn't perfect, I don't think the film would be as good. I think that production design really sells it for me. Mm-hmm. Like if it was just a basic thing, but like obviously we're not gonna spoil anything, but those last like 10 minutes, that's when I was like, the production design. Oh my gosh, the production design.
Yeah.
Like,
mwah,
amazing, mm-hmm. Phenomenal work. My second choice would be Ma Rainey.
Nice.
Good choice.
What about you, Cassie?
That was mine. Was
yes.
Ma Rainey's. Which is interesting because I think that Tenet will be the real winner because Tenet.
I mean, I have my reasoning for my choice.
Yeah, which is fair. But I want Ma Rainey to win. I think it's stunning and does exactly like what we were talking about before of really helping to emphasize the story and what they want to portray.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I chose Tenet. Now, I want to preface this by saying I have not seen Tenet. I'm waiting for it to show to be on HBO Max and the stream.
Kevin.
Nah, nothing's wrong with that. Anyways, no, with Tenet. So I know. So the reason why I chose Tenet for production design is because I know Nolan does not like using CGI when he can avoid doing so, and I know Tenet is a very effects heavy movie. So and a lot of that might have to lend itself to special effects and a production design itself. Similar, I'm thinking more like, you know, Inception as an example, the hallway scene where they actually had like a huge tube with a room in the hallway and then spinning around. So I think Tenet might get this one for like maybe like whatever ambition Nolan had in this movie. I don't know. I didn't watch it.
The production design is really, really good in Tenet. Mm-hmm. Like, I think it really does a good job of building the world. Granted, I had to see Tenet 3 times to get it. But like the production design really does do a lot for that film to really like tell the story and bring you into that world for me. So if it won, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be upset by it. I think it's a good choice. But yeah, The Father. Ooh. Ooh. Chills.
I don't know. I was really. I think my runner up is going to be Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. It's like that's super like because it takes place in 2 rooms, but you don't think about it being set in 2 rooms because of the production design and the cinematography and editing all working together. So it's really cool. But yeah, Tenet, gonna watch on HBO Max with subtitles.
Nice.
Yes. Good God. Subtitles would have saved me that first time watching it. I would have understood it.
Yeah.
It's
why it's not nominated in the next category.
Yeah, right. So best sound. Cassie, go ahead and read us off.
Sure. Our nominees for best sound are Greyhound, Mank, News of the World, Soul, and Sound of Metal, which we have all come to a consensus on.
Yeah. I can't believe it's Mank. Just kidding.
Yeah. No,
Sound of Metal.
It's Sound of Metal.
Yeah,
Which it's a music movie. Like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's already won lots of stuff for sound as well. Like it's already winning awards for it.
Not
It's
only
not a
is it a
surprise.
music movie, it's a music movie about the character protagonist who loses his hearing. So, so you got that nice
It's
sound design,
ingrained
so you
in it.
really get to feel what it's like to be that protagonist. And it's really, honestly, fantastic film. I was really blown away by the ending, and then like when I watched it a second time, I was like, man, this is her. This is her. It's so good though. But I mean, yeah, it has sound in the title too, so obviously it's got to win. I hope it
That's
wins.
my logic. That's my logic. Did
Yeah, I mean, it's really
the Sound of Music win?
Good question.
I don't know.
Probably.
Sound of Music Oscars.
I know
I
it
was
won
going to tell the fans to
Oscars.
fact check.
Best
I did
Picture,
win
Best Film
Oscars.
Editing, Best Director, Best Original Score, Best Sound
Best
Mixing.
sound
Jesus
mixing.
Christ.
Yeah,
It
sound
won a
mixing.
lot.
That's
Best
it.
Sound Mixing. And then it was
Damn, they
nominated for
swept.
Best Actress, Cinematography, Costume Design. It was literally everything Best
She
Supporting
didn't win
Actress.
actress that year?
She did not win Best Actress that year, apparently. She was just a
Gasp!
nominee.
That's
Wild.
news to me.
I know. She should, though.
She should. She can sing like no other.
Just everything about Julie Andrews. She is an angel among us and should be treated
Agreed.
as such.
a true queen of Genovia.
She's never done
true
anything
queen
wrong
of
in her
Genovia.
life.
So
Oh
true.
man, it's been forever since I've seen Sound of Music, but I think they have it on Disney Plus, so like I can just watch.
I think so, yeah.
I can watch the compressed version on that instead of on DVD. So
Perfect. You know, the
Perfect.
Switch VHS is halfway through.
that's true. I remember that.
Woof. That was a time.
Up next, Best Original Song. Kyler, go ahead and read off the nominees.
The nominees, I listened to all of these before we recorded this, by the way. The nominees for Best Original Song: Fight for You from Judas and the Black Messiah, Hear My Voice from The Trial of Chicago 7, Husavik from Eurovision Song Contest, The Story of Fire Saga, IOC, Scene from The Life Ahead, and Speak Now from One Night in Miami, ...
Oh, what's your choice?
Oh. After listening to them, in every ounce of me, I was having like, I think Eurovision came out in like June or July, either one of those months. I was having a really, really bad month, and I watched that film and it made me feel so much better. And that song is amazing, and I want them to win so bad. That being
Right.
said, Speak Now from One Night in Miami is the Oscar song. Like, that's the one that makes sense for me. And I think that considering how badly they screwed over One Night in Miami in a lot of other categories, this is where they're going to
Yeah.
make up for that. And also, you're gonna
Hopefully.
deny Leslie Odom Jr.'s beautiful voice? No,
Fair.
gorgeous. But I would love to see it. I would love to see Husavik win.
Yeah.
Also, Wuhan flu not being here is a crime, and I'm mad.
Rip.
Big rip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that
haven't-
somebody else enjoyed that Eurovision movie because I was like, I feel like I shouldn't enjoy this as much as I did,
It's
but it really
so
was
good.
like a fun,
Yeah.
guilty pleasure. Like it gave me that early 2000s comedy vibe that I haven't
Yes.
felt in a long time.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
Yeah, I
I
haven't-
this is a fun song.
I haven't seen Eurovision yet, but I know the Husavik song. And so it's like, yeah, that'll win because it's the most popular, I guess. That's my vote, Husavik.
No, I would. I
haven't
love
seen
to
One
see
Night
it
in
win.
Miami yet, though. But I know, I think I listened to clips of it, but it wasn't for Speak Now. It was for another song that they did. I think they did a cover of, if I'm correct. But I'm looking forward to One Night in Miami. I will be watching it very soon. And what about you, Tiffany? What's your pick?
Oh, I picked Fight for You from Judas and the Black Messiah.
I think it would be hilarious if Husavik wins, but I don't think it will. But I have to agree that it's probably gonna be Speak Now because Leslie. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I will say this really quick, though, as a heads up to y'all and also the people listening. If IOC Scene wins, do not be surprised because that's Diane Warren and she's never won before.
Oh,
And this is like her some crazy number of nominations. So
Okay.
I would not be if that song won, I would not be surprised because it's one of those bridesmaid situations, but also with the category later, it's another bridesmaid situation where I think we're going to end up with it. So
Interesting.
might just be a year for no weddings for some of the girls, unfortunately.
Okay.
That's my belief.
Interesting.
Just a tidbit, just keep it there in case it happens. and you're
Kyler saw into the
surprised.
future.
Yeah.
He knows what's up.
I've studied. I've done my research.
Yeah.
I'm prepared.
Well, we'll see who's right. We're pretty divided on this one, but honestly, I don't know. For me, it's a toss up because I don't really pay attention. I didn't really pay attention to the music that was nominated, so that's more on me than anything else.
Well, there just wasn't
next.
a James Bond movie to like take the cake because we know if James Bond would have been up, we all been like, all
next
right, here's
year
that one.
she's winning. She's winning next year. Let's not even.
Billie
next year,
Eilish.
Billie is taking it. It's next year.
All the awards,
100%.
Billie Eilish.
Happening. She already won the Oscar. She already won the Grammy for it.
Best Picture, Billie Eilish.
Literally.
So up next, we have Best Original Score. We have Da 5 Bloods, Mank, Minari, News of the World, and Soul. It seems pretty unanimous here, but Tiffany, where's your vote? I don't see it.
Oh, I guess I didn't vote for this one. I'll go
Rip.
for Soul 2. That's the only movie I think I've seen in this category besides Mank, and I don't like Mank, so
Yeah.
I'll say Soul for me too.
Same composers, but
I am so ready for the vinyl of Minari to come out because personally, that's my favorite score. I'm not going to vote against Soul though because I think it's
Disney.
going to win. I think that's the best part of Soul for me. I don't like Soul.
Right.
The score is the best part of Soul for me. But Minari, that's cool. Oh. Wow. I will be purchasing the vinyl. I already have it ready to order when it comes out. I'm gonna click purchase and it will be coming to my house.
Nice.
I'm so excited.
oh, Kyle, that reminds me. I forgot to contact you when I finally watched Soul, but I thought it was okay. I mean, obviously there has problems.
It's like fine, but like also like my original issue with the film still stands.
Yeah, no, it's problematic in that area.
Yup.
Outside of that, though, the score, I really like it. That's my pick because the
beautiful
score was
score.
part of the sound design as well. From when I watched it at least, and it was just like when it was over, it was like, man, I wish I watched that in the theater just for this, just for the score. But
Would have been great in the Dolby.
yeah, dude, it would have been awesome. Like, I mean, already, like, I watched it on like a 4K. I watched it with my family on our 4K TV. We have like a sound bar, and already it just sounded great. Like, but it could sound better. What about you, Cassie?
Yeah, I also chose Soul because Disney Pixar. So it.
Disney Pixar automatic music win.
I mean, it's usually a good shoe-in to choose the Disney soundtrack. If it's up for a music thing, it's probably a safe bet.
Right.
Correct.
I do want to note I have not seen Da 5 Bloods. I hear it might be snubbed for a couple other categories, but I do plan on
the fact
watching
that
it
this
soon.
is the only place it was very shocking to me.
I'm also very shocked. Like, it's like, oh, it's a Spike Lee movie. Like, it should get more.
Phenomenal score, but I think it's just it got released at a really poor time.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I think it got released in June. Like it got
Yeah.
released way too early on, and I think people forgot about it except for like a couple places, and I don't think it materialized enough. I don't think Netflix spent enough trying to get it nominated, and I think it lost the focus of it versus
also,
not having as much campaign behind it.
Yeah, and I think it's also fair because, like, I know in June of last year, I was not in the right headspace to watch
I would
a
be
movie
surprised
like
if any of
Da
us
5
was.
Bloods.
It's 2.5 hours.
Yeah, and like
It's
the
a 2.5
content
hour
of it
war
too,
movie.
though. Yeah, it's in the content too. Like
It's a lot.
it was. I needed escapism is more of what it was.
I needed Love and Monsters.
Yeah, I needed escapism in June, so I'm not surprised. I'm saddened, but unfortunately not
Agreed.
surprised.
Yeah. Rip Da 5 Bloods, but hopefully one day you'll get your rise to fame.
Yeah.
Up next, Best Animated Short Film. Tiffany, go ahead and read us off.
Best animated short film, a category that I have seen none of the movies for.
I've only seen 2, so yeah.
Burrow, Genius, Loki, If Anything Happens, I Love You, Opera, and Yes, People.
Okay,
So
I want to go
Yeah, go
first
ahead,
with
go
this
ahead.
one with this note. So I only seen two of them, Burrow and If Anything Happens, I Love You, and I watched them right before right before we got on the call. So Burrow was on Disney Plus, like 6 minutes. Like, oh yeah, I can fit that in. And I watched. I was like, oh, it's a cute little short film about a rabbit and trying to find a home. It's great. And then I was like, what else is available? Like, oh, If Anything Happens, I Love You. It's on Netflix. Okay, 12 minutes. Yeah, I got time for that. And then when I finished, I was broken. I haven't been okay for the
Yeah.
past hour.
Oh, no.
I was gonna say I haven't seen any of these, but If Anything Happens, I Love You sounds like the kind of movie or the kind of thing that you watch and then you're just sobbing for the next 4 hours. And so that's probably why I would choose it if I were forced to be like, this one. This one
Yeah.
sounds like it'll make me cry. So cool, that one.
The use of
This
animation is amazing in that film. Like how it blends from scene to scene, the use of color to sell emotion and the story, and like how to like attract your eyes to certain objects that are important to the story. It's amazing.
So this year was the first time I actually was able to ever watch all of the animated short films. So that was fun for me.
Nice.
I also chose If Anything Happens, I Love You to win. I did not like it though.
oh,
Oh.
and I enjoy, I think the social message that it has is very important. I just don't think it does it in a way that is like really like, it didn't wow me as much like as watching some of these other ones. Like the animation on Burrow is gorgeous. Genius Loci is so confusing and the animation is gorgeous. Opera is like one of the most visually sensational things I've ever seen, and it's literally just like one thing. Like, like in film school when they're like, here is a short film, and it's just like basically like one, like they give you a picture and they're like, analyze this picture. Opera is basically like an 8-minute analyze this picture short film.
Oh,
And it's
interesting.
brilliant. I love it. Yes, People was my favorite because it's claymation and I love claymation. But If Anything Happens, I Love You, it seems too like relevant and too like
yeah, and I think
in the now. It's also the Netflix choice and I feel like they might, but also Burrow's Disney, so who knows?
yeah. I mean, with If Anything Happens, I Love You, I can see I think there is a discussion to have about using trauma as a plot twist, because I can't tell you what it's about without spoiling it, which is problematic when it comes to content warnings. So
Correct.
so I will say right now there is a trigger warning with If Anything Happens, I Love You. It doesn't say it on the video, but I think it says it on the
It
rating.
should.
It's like if it shows the rating is like PG and then tells you why it's rated PG, then I think that's as close as you'll get to a trigger warning, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a sad one. If you want a happy one, watch Burrow. It's nice and cute. It's about
Watch Yes People if you can. That's my favorite of them all.
nice. I have to check it out. I need to watch more of them. I love animation.
It's a cute time.
What about you, Tiffany? Any thoughts?
For this category,
category, yes.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything about any of these animated
worries.
shorts. I'm sorry. I really, for the next four categories, I have not seen any, so I don't want to say anything.
Good.
about
This is
them.
where
feel-
I start not seeing anything too.
Yeah.
Hello.
All right.
Yeah.
Up next.
Again, it was a tough year for that. Like, I feel like there were so many movies that flew under the radar and
Yes.
like just didn't get their time in the sun like they could have this past year.
for sure.
Yeah, like
Completely
I
agree.
didn't even know like how to look for any of these movies like throughout the year. So yeah, it was really hard.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I will put a link in the description about where you can watch these movies. And yeah, so if you're wanting to watch these movies and not wanting to know where it's streaming or anything like that, check the description. Up next, best live action short film. Cassie, go ahead.
The nominees for Best Live Action Short Film: Feeling Through, The Letter Room, The Present, Two Distant Strangers, White Eye.
Now, I think Kyler, you are the only one that has seen these, correct?
That is a absolute lie. I've seen none of them, but
Oh,
I did
that's
read
right.
the description for all of them, and that's how I made my decision.
That's right. So none of us have seen any of the categories.
Yeah.
We guessed, so we can say why we guessed.
I will say right now you can watch it on the Music Box Theater website. You can rent it for like $4, I think.
really?
I'm not sure, but you can watch. But yeah, the Music Box Theater is a small local theater in Chicago. If you could you can go ahead and rent through their website and support them. But yeah, I'm also so yeah. We haven't seen any of these. My guess is The Letter Room. I saw it on Twitter, and I saw it had Oscar Isaac in it. It's like, okay, cool. People are talking about this. That's my pick.
I picked Two Distant Strangers because it sounded like the one that I would enjoy the most, and it also sounded very socially relevant. Also, I love a Groundhog Day type like time loop. That's my favorite genre, and so Two Distant Strangers is that genre. So I said, perfect, sign me up. So that's my pick.
Nice.
Nice.
I
How about
chose
you, Tiffany?
For best live action short
Yeah,
film.
Shot in Dark. Which one are you picking?
I'll pick Wide Eye. I don't know anything about it, but
It sounded good when I read about it.
yeah, see, I should have read the descriptions. That was like a really good idea. I just completely went into all this blind.
Yeah. How about you, Cassie?
I'm choosing Feeling Through because it seems sad and like the kind of thing that the Academy would like. So
Nice.
Valid.
And with that, our votes all spread out. We're gonna watch the present win. So one of us is gonna be right.
Yeah.
All right. Up next, best documentary short subject. Kyler, go ahead.
The nominees for Best Documentary Short Subject are Colette, A Concerto is a Conversation, Do Not Split, Hunger Ward, and A Love Song for Latasha. And I don't think any of us have seen any of these either.
Nope.
Also,
Not at all.
I guessed A Love Song for Latasha because it's on Netflix. So I said,
All right.
perfect, let's go with that.
I'm going
also
for that
sounded
one
good.
too. All in.
Great.
Love song for Latasha. What about you, Cassie?
Anyone else for Love Song?
I'm looking them up really quick.
We'll just go all in. All our eggs, one basket. Let's go.
I think fine, I'll be the one that's not, because I think A Concerto is a Conversation because it's got a very similar feel as one of my favorite books. 'Cause it looks like it's like a conversation with his grandfather about personal and family history. And it seems like it'd be really, really cute and just once again sad. And you know I like a good cry, so
That was my second pick. That was my almost.
It's
The
got a
almost
fancy
one.
title. That's all I know about
It
it.
does.
It does. It
Nice
has
title.
a good title. That is also true. It's not a one or two word one.
It's
got a fun
not
title.
Hunger Ward. No offense to Hunger Ward. I'm sure it's great. What about you, Tiffany?
I love the sequel.
I'm gonna go with Do Not Split because I think it's something that I do really want to watch it. Just looking it up right now, and I think it's really relevant to everything that's gone on in the last year, and I really want to see it from the eyes of people and across the world. So, yeah.
Fair enough. All right, up next, best documentary feature. We have Collective, Crip Camp, The Mole Agents, My Octopus Teacher, and Time. And I believe Kyler is the only one that has seen one of these.
I've actually seen I've seen a full one and then I've seen part of two of the other ones. I've seen half of Crip Camp and I've seen half of The Mole Agent. And I've seen all of My Octopus Teacher. My pick is My Octopus Teacher because I think it's beautifully shot. I think it's a gorgeous story. I think it's the safe, basic documentary pick, which is why I'm picking it, because every time I feel like I go for a doc that I really like, that's really good, they never pick it. And I'm like, cool. But I also really liked Crip Camp and I thought it was really interesting. And I also really enjoyed The Mole Agent. Time, I know, Kevin, you have your name under Time. I still haven't gotten a chance to watch it. I really, really want to, though, because all I've heard is phenomenal things. It looks so good. I don't know. My brain just won't let me pick the riskier choice anymore for documentary. I got to pick the safe one now.
Right. I know Time actually has a pretty big campaign behind it because it's on Amazon Prime, so they were advertising a bit, and then all now until I believe April 30th, it's free to watch on YouTube as well. So they're really trying to get it out there. I know Crip Camp and The Mole Agent were nominated for Best Documentary at the Spirit Awards as well. As of recording this, they haven't announced who won yet, so I don't know what that is. I know Crip Camp seemed really interesting. I know people were talking about The Mole Agents. That was my original vote, but then I thought about it and was like, no, Time. I think Time's a good contender because of the campaign behind it.
You're completely correct.
What about you, Cassie?
Fair. Yeah, I kind of had a similar feeling of, I think that they're pushing time pretty hard. I wouldn't be surprised if it was My Octopus Teacher, even though I'm pretty meh. But I feel like because of the push, it's probably going to be time.
And what about you, Tiffany?
Yeah, for some reason, I thought Crep Camp came out like this time last year. Am I wrong?
It did. You're
Okay.
correct.
And for some reason, I just remember there being buzz about that movie and being like, oh, that's totally going to win Best Documentary Feature next year. Like, I just remember that being like the discourse when it first came out. So just based off that, I'm just going to go with that because it might just surprise everybody.
Which is
That
fair.
is valid.
It does have Barack and Michelle Obama as executive producers.
Oh.
So
Oh, yeah,
Correct.
that's right. Yeah.
That worked for American Factory last
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
They're rigging
so
the
I
votes.
wouldn't be surprised.
One thing I'll say though is Collective is nominated here in documentary. It's also nominated in the next category, international feature. So I mean, I don't know.
Oh, that's
an interesting
true.
thing.
I
to me.
didn't
I
notice
don't
that.
see it happening because of another contender in that category, but also like I just think that's interesting that appears in two places. I also think it's the first film to ever do that, if I remember correctly, this year.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
don't
really
have any knowledge on
exciting.
that, so I'll take your word for it.
I'm pretty sure I remember that. I might be lying out of my teeth. Who knows? They'll correct
yeah.
us in the comments.
But yeah, so best international feature film. Who read last time? Was it Cassie?
It was you, Kevin.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was
Kevin
me. Okay. Tiffany, you're next.
All right, Best International Feature Film nominees are Another Round from Denmark, Better Days from Hong Kong, Collective from Romania, The Man Who Sold His Skin from Tunisia, and Quo Vadis Ida from Bosnia and Herzegovina. I don't know how to read.
Basically got it. You
I think
just,
you
basically
like-
got it. Yeah.
Botched
Did
it.
good.
Everyone, round of applause.
Thanks. Thanks.
Speaking of rounds,
Another round. I think that one's
Yeah.
gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
me
I've-
too.
it's nominated in director.
Oh, that's true. It is. Yeah. And
Come on.
No, that one's been advertised a lot. I haven't seen it. I saw a copy at the library. I was gonna grab it. I was like, I'll get it next time I come by. And then the next time it wasn't there anymore. So I
It's
haven't
also
seen
on
it.
Hulu, I believe.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I
It
can just
is.
stream
It is on Hulu.
Yeah. And it has
Who-
Mads
Haven't watched it
Mikkelsen,
yet, but-
which is why I chose it.
Valid.
Mads
Love
Mikkelsen.
that man.
We love him. He's great.
We do.
Hannibal.
Amen.
Yes. So good.
Doctor Strange. Yeah. Not so much.
Tiffany, did you? What do you think?
I haven't seen any of these, but I know for a fact that I have heard many people talk about Another Round. Whether I think it's kind of been circulating on Reddit from where I've been reading stuff, and I've also seen stuff on like film Twitter and stuff. So I'm gonna go with Another Round.
Okay.
Same as you guys.
Ooh, United Front.
All eggs, one basket. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Best animated feature film. Cassie, your turn.
Cool. The nominations for Best Animated Feature Film are Onward, Over the Moon, A Shaun the Sheep Movie, Farmageddon,
Yeah.
Soul, and Wolfwalkers.
Nice. I still haven't seen Over the Moon and Shaun the Sheep Farmageddon yet. I will be watching those soon. They're both on Netflix.
I'm so excited for you to watch Shaun the Sheep.
I love the
I want to
first
see
one.
it.
But
It's so good.
nice. Is it better or worse than the first one?
I'm not gonna lie, I've seen none of the other films.
You got to watch the first
This
one.
is one I guessed to nominate because they always nominate Shaun the Sheep, and then I watched it and I was like, I am obsessed with this film.
Yes.
Dude,
I
gotta-
want it to win more than anything.
Have you seen the show?
Yeah, I watched.
Okay.
They would always play like the clips and stuff on like Disney Channel, and I loved those because I love claymation. I love it. So like anything Aardman has ever made, I am obsessed with.
Wallace and Gromit, Curse the Were-Rabbit. Solid movie.
Yes. Which one animated feature?
It did. Oh, that's awesome. I was like
Beat Cars.
8 years old at the time, so I didn't know the Oscars existed.
It beat Cars and Happy Feet.
Oh, that's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, it deserves it. One of the best animated movies out there. I love it. But anyways, my pick is going to Wolfwalkers because that's just an amazing movie. That's the Irish
beautiful.
film from Cartoon Saloon. It's only available to stream on Apple TV here in America. That's the only way to
Boo.
watch it, unfortunately. Hopefully it gets a physical release. But man, Wolfwalkers.
They got good content on there.
Just watch the trailer and you will see, like, yes, this is best animated movie right here. But some may disagree, like I'm seeing with Cassie and Tiffany.
Well, I will say that doesn't have to do with the quality of Wolfwalkers versus Onward. I chose Onward because it's what I think will win.
That's interesting that you would choose that over Soul.
Right, here I am in the Soul camp. I hate the movie, but here I am.
I mean, it's fair. It's a fair toss up for sure. Because I would love it if Wolfwalkers won, but I don't think it will. But I will say Onward did make me cry. So.
Yeah, I definitely really liked Onward more than I liked Soul.
I would agree with that statement. I
understand, like, objectively, maybe will be outside of certain problems. Objectively, Soul might be a better movie than Onward. However, Onward struck an emotional chord, and I think it did that really well.
Yeah.
valid.
Plus, I play D&D, so I am highly biased. I'm like,
Valid.
yes, it's for me.
I will be day of rooting for Shang-Chi. That being said, I have Soul winning because it's nominated in like 3 other places, and like, come on, there's no way it's not gonna win. Like, I really want to pick Wolfwalkers. I'd love to see Wolfwalkers win. I would love to see films that are actually pushing the boundary of what animation can be winning animated feature. You know, it's boggling to me. But I think Soul's gonna win, and I'm gonna say whatever. Moving on.
Moving on. All I gotta say is
that's how I
Into
feel
the
on it.
Spider-Verse should have won Best Picture. That's
Oh
all
my
I gotta
gosh,
say.
yes. Woof. Spider-Man is later, Kevin. Later.
Another episode. So up next, Best Adapted Screenplay. Kyler, your turn.
Oh, I'm so happy I got this. You have no idea. All right. The nominees for Best Adapted Screenplay are Borat's subsequent movie film, Delivery of Prodigious Bride to American Regime for Make Benefit Once Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan.
Less than 3.
The Father, Nomadland, One Night in Miami, and The White Tiger. Now, I have not gotten to say this yet because this is basically the first time it's popped up. I am obsessed with Borat's subsequent movie film. It is phenomenal. I think it should be represented in more places here. I don't have it winning, but I'm very proud that it is nominated here. I'm very happy.
I haven't seen any of the Borat movies yet. And obviously I'm going to rectify
God,
that this
Kevin.
week.
I do not like the first one. I love this one.
The first one
the
had Todd
second one's
Phillips as
good.
one of the writers, so it makes sense.
I realized I didn't vote in this either. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm gonna vote for Borat because I want it to win.
Yay!
I think Nomadland will probably win if I'm gonna take a second guess, but I really want Borat to win just because I really loved that movie, and I made my friends watch it, and they were mad at me for making them watch it. But I was like, I love this movie. But I'm so glad to
need
see
new friends.
I'm so glad to see that somebody else appreciates it the way that I do.
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Behind Promising Young Woman, it's the most feminist film of the year.
Do I need to watch the first Borat to enjoy the second Borat?
Not really.
No.
I don't think so.
No, I mean, like the first movie is very. Actually, I think it would be interesting if you watched both. You don't really need to watch, but you'll be able to see like why so many people hated the first one and why so many
Yes.
people liked the second one, because the first one was so ahead of its time that like the second one is kind of like a no-brainer why it was
hit
made
perfectly.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Fair.
I also think Nomadland will actually win, though. I purchased the book. I read the book. They're very different stories, but the thing is, it translates so well that like I think it's brilliant. I think it works so well. I think it says so much by saying so little. And I I'm not gonna root against Chloe Zhao. Like, come on, nope, she's nominated for this. I'm gonna go with her. Come on.
I mean, that's
Get
why
on the
I
train.
did. That's why I went with Nomadland too. I'm like, come on, I want it. This was
Break
my
the Walt Disney record. Let's go.
right. This is my I want it, and I think that they could take it as well. I think they could do both. So
yeah,
I 100%
think
agree.
Please.
Very, very good contenders. My vote's going to One Night in Miami because even though I haven't seen it yet, I've been hearing a lot about how well it adapts the play into the film language, to the point where like people had no idea that it was actually based on a play. So I think that's worth something. Obviously, I have yet to see it, so I can't really say for sure. I know I've seen The White Tiger, and that one's pretty good.
I think based on what I've seen, The Father might be the runner-up here.
It's possible.
I think it's same case you made for One Night in Miami with The Father. You know, I think it's tight.
Right.
I don't know. For me, I think it's either Nomadland or The Father, but
that's true. Yeah.
Just because they're represented more other places. But I don't know. I would be happy, honestly, with any of these. I haven't seen The White Tiger. I don't know anything about it.
I mean, The White Tiger's pretty good. It's not a must see, but if it want to be like, okay.
I'll have to check it out.
I mean, yeah, I think probably Nomadland is the strongest contender, but my vote's going to One Night in Miami. ... or
Valid.
Ellipses or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, best original screenplay. We have Judas and the Black Messiah. We got Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, The Trial of Chicago 7, and Not Palm Springs, unfortunately.
Yeah,
that would have been so sexy. You have no idea.
It's like Palm Springs getting
a
snubbed
shame.
for best original screenplay is an atrocity.
Do you want to know
Yeah.
what, honestly, during that cycle, would have been in there? Do you honestly want to know, I think, what took that spot potentially?
Was it Trial of Chicago 7?
Judas or Sound of Metal, those two were last minute surges in screenplay to get nominated.
Okay. Well,
Very last minute.
That's fine, I guess.
No, I think they're both deserving of being in there. But they were very last minute pushes. The other three were pretty well solid into going into nominations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's Sorkin is best original screenplay, which I think shouldn't it be applied to be more adapted screenplay, since it actually uses courtroom. What's it called? It's just actual documents from the courtroom.
Ooh, that's a very
that's
fine line
interesting.
we're walking here, pal.
Yeah. It's questionable.
Because then it's like, is Judas adapted because it's based on real events? Like, you know.
Well, I mean, like it's not reading. Well, I mean, I guess it is reading from documents as well. So, all right, yeah, you have a good point.
It's more of just like
also
source
calling Judas and
material
the Black
Sure.
Messiah an original screenplay and Trial of Chicago 7 adapted screenplay is like, oh, which one's more true to the real life? Like,
Yeah.
that's also messed up.
Yeah.
It's my pick goes to Minari. I really love the screenplay of that one. It's really nice family drama about an Asian American family just trying to achieve the American dream, and it's so good and so well paced, and like the ending made me cry.
It's phenomenal. So good. It's my second choice.
But what is your first choice?
The film that I was waiting. One of my friends got to see this film at Sundance in the beginning of 2020. Told me about it then. I've been waited to see it for the entire year. Saw it on the day before Christmas Eve. Fell in love with it. Promising Young Woman. Amazing.
Yes.
Perfect. The more I've watched that film, the better that screenplay has gotten because it is tight. It leaves everything there. It perfectly subverts the expectations of what you think you're getting yourself into because you think you're getting yourself into this revenge plot and it's there. Nope. Nope.
Yeah.
No. It subverts every single genre expectation the film sets out to break. And I think it's brilliant. Also, the one thing that really makes me happy about this screenplay is the fact that they cast Laverne Cox and they never once mentioned anything about her being trans. They just let her exist, which is like,
Yeah.
thank you. The casting of that film, really, if there was an Oscar for casting, that's where it would go this year.
I agree.
Phenomenal screenplay. Truly brilliant on every front. I think it's so socially important this year. And I think it's telling a story that has been like not getting to be told in this type of way before. And it's been told in such a strong way with such strong characters that you really root for, that you really want to see like succeed and do well. But there's so much moral ambiguity and gray ground throughout it. And just the choices made are just brilliant. I love it.
For sure.
I agree. Promising a Woman is my favorite movie of last year, and one of the outstanding elements of that story in general is just the fact that, like, you know, it's some times of the film, it's not spelling it out for you, but you know exactly what is going on through action and like specific dialogue. And I don't know, I just think it does what it's trying to do very well.
Yeah, that's why I put it down for mine as well. I think Judas and the Black Messiah will win, but I want Promising Young Woman to win, or Minari.
Yeah, I mean, you guys make really good points. I mean, like all of these, except for Trial of Chicago 7, made me want to read the screenplay after watching the movie. So I'll be, at some point I'll be reading through all of them. But yeah, these are all good except for Trial of Chicago 7.
Who's reading the next categories? It's Tiffany, right?
I think it's me.
Please. You already know what I'm going to ask. Just please do it. Thank you.
Okay. The nominees for Best Supporting Actress are Maria Bakalova for Borat's subsequent movie film, Glenn Close for Hillbilly Elegy, Olivia Colman for The Father, Amanda Seyfried for Mank, and Yoo Jung-yoon for Minari. And
you were supposed to read the whole thing for Borat.
Oh, I'm sorry.
so heartbroken. It's
my God. Sorry, I didn't realize that's what
okay.
you meant. I'll go read it anyways.
No, you don't have to. It's okay. I already read it once. I got what I needed.
Sorry, well, you did it so well. Like, I can't top that. So, I picked Maria Bakalova because she got snubbed the Golden Globes.
Yes.
Just like she deserves Best Supporting Actress. And if you would have told me 10 years ago that a Borat film in general was going to be nominated for any Oscars, let alone a Best Supporting Actress award, I would have told you were crazy.
Well, the first Borat film was nominated for an Oscar.
It was?
It was nominated for original screenplay.
Oh, well then... Never mind.
Either way,
still.
I agree with you. I agree with that sentiment because never in my life would I have been like, at the top of this year, if you would have told me, Kyler, one of your favorite films of the year will be the Borat sequel, I would have told you you're crazy.
Yeah.
And secondly, if you would have told me that I would be campaigning this hard for Maria Bakalova to win, I would have told you you're crazy.
Yeah.
I am obsessed with Yoo Jung-yoon in Minari. I think her performance is brilliant. I would love to see her win. It would make me so happy because she's amazing. Maria Bakalova, this is what this category was made for. Like, talk about a breakout performance. Talk about a performance that makes that film. The film would not be as good without her and without her as the actress for that character. She makes so many phenomenal choices. She makes so many ridiculous choices, and she does everything so well. She keeps up with Sacha Baron Cohen has been doing this for like years, so long now, and she keeps up and outdoes Sacha Baron Cohen on his home turf. That's just, she wins. She wins. And if she doesn't, it's okay because I will be fine. I will accept it. I will cry, but I will accept it because Yoo Jung-yoon will probably win. And I think she's incredibly deserving. Maria reset, and I want to see a comedy performance finally take an Oscar for the first time in like forever.
Fair.
And especially for it to be a female comedic performance, especially after so many have been like nominated in the past couple of years and just like kind of like, oh, yep, that's it. That's all we're doing. We're just nominating it to just like give it a little love. Like, no, she deserves to win this category. Give her the Oscar, please. I want to see it. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I really need to watch Borat then.
Oh my gosh.
I know you guys are making a good argument for Borat. I was like,
so
I have this one.
good.
I'm not.
Well, I know what I'm watching tonight, I guess.
You know, it's not Bruno or like any of the other weird stuff he's come out with, but yeah.
Okay.
Highly
All right.
recommend.
Duly noted. My pick is Yoo Jung-yoon from Minari. She's the grandmother in the movie, and I think she's fantastic in the movie. Her performance is so empathetic, and really, really grounds the film together. But she is an ensemble cast. And then there's another actress that we will talk about as well in another category. But yeah, just both actresses, Yoo Jung-yoon in particular, just absolutely amazing in the movie, and I just really wanted to see her win.
Yeah, I have to agree
What
with
about
you,
you, Cassie?
Kevin. That's why I chose her as well, because and she's someone who has had a prolific career. If you like look into what she's done, like it's really cool to see her be up for an Oscar like this too. So that's my vote and my hope as well.
And that's kind of, you touch on something that was kind of my thing about it too, is like, you know, if she does win, Maria will be back.
She'll be back.
Like she has plenty of time to do so much more. Like she's already gotten so many other projects from it. Like she'll be back if she doesn't win for this. She'll get the Emmy because they're making what they didn't use into a TV series. She'll get an Emmy for it. That's fine. I'll accept that. But the work that Yoo Jung-yoon does is so subtle and so just beautiful. The line deliveries, just the performance, especially in like the last third of the film, her performance is just wow. Like, I don't know. Last year, I was really rooting for the actors who played the grandma in The Farewell to win. So like this year, I'm not going to root against another grandma to lose, you know. But also, let's keep in mind that we haven't discussed Glenn Close in this category yet. And is Hillbilly Elegy terrible? Yes. But also, Glenn Close has never won an Oscar before.
Yeah. It would be kind of embarrassing if this is the one that says she wins.
It'd be so embarrassing. It'd be so humiliating.
It'd be wild.
She should have won for 101 Dalmatians.
Yes. Oh my God. We literally just watched that the other day in my apartment, and we all just sat there
so
and we were like, what the hell? We forgot that this is like cinema. Like this
She
movie
was
is
baked
so
into
good.
a cake in the second film.
The Emma Stone movie's not going to have anything on that one.
Yeah.
I think is she the first Korean actress? Sorry, going back to Yoo Jung-yoon. Is she the first Korean actress to be nominated for an Oscar?
That is.
I just quickly looked
She
her
may be
up,
one of
'cause I
them,
was
but
like,
she would be the first actress to win.
Yeah, it looks like, according to this one article, she's the first Korean actress nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah.
That would be wild to win and be nominated and to just like close that ish out.
Yeah.
There we go.
Literally.
Let's do it.
Do it.
Koreans
We
win
believe in
Oscars.
you.
Up next, Best Supporting Actor. Cassie, go ahead.
All right. Our nominations for Best Supporting Actor are Sacha Baron Cohen, The Trial of the Chicago 7.
Which is
Daniel,
interesting.
The best part
Daniel
of the film.
Kaluuya, Judas and the Black Messiah. Leslie Odom Jr., One Night in Miami. Paul Raci, Sound of Metal. And Lakeith Stanfield, Judas and the Black Messiah.
So already, I want to point out that both leads from Judas and the Black Messiah are listed as supporting actors.
Yep. Pretty pissed. Pretty pissed.
That's
I
embarrassing.
don't understand.
Well, I mean,
don't.
There
also
are so many other people that could have been here.
Stephen Yin is categorized as a lead for Minari when he's actually supporting in that movie. So.
Okay, but if they would have nominated Alan Kim in supporting, you wouldn't have said nothing because
No, I would have said something.
He
You
would
need
have
to leave the movie.
I wouldn't have said a thing. I would have said absolutely give the boy his Oscar, please. Thank you.
No, man.
I love that child. He goes on the list of people I would die for.
Don't get too famous, okay?
Along with him and Jacob Tremblay, I would die for both of those children.
But yeah, Judas and Black Messiah, they're both leads. Why are they supporting actors? Who's the lead of Judas and the Black Messiah? I guess we'll never know.
So
I guess
annoying.
that's
Well,
the
here's
question.
the interesting thing is Kaluuya apparently actually got enough votes to be an actor, but he wasn't campaigned an actor, so he's in supporting.
Oh,
But if they would have campaigned Kaluuya in actor, he would have been nominated,
interesting.
from what I have heard. But I think Kaluuya's winning this. Like,
I think so too.
I mean,
think
yeah,
it's-
it's a very good contender.
I think, you know, I think it's a good year. I think this is a solid bunch of 5.
Yeah.
Personally, I think Sacha Baron Cohen's performance in Trial of Chicago 7 was my favorite part of the film.
Yeah,
maybe
me
that's some
too.
Borat bias, but you know.
Yeah.
I mean, no,
I thought he was great.
No,
but
really, like his performance was one of the best parts of the film.
Yeah. No, but Daniel Kaluuya's playing a real person. Daniel Kaluuya has also been nominated at least once before.
I think so.
I was just
If
looking that
not
up.
twice. I think it was only once. I don't think he got nominated for anything besides Get Out. But regardless, The man is so ridiculously talented.
Yeah.
He is insane in this film. He is so good. Also, I love him. I want to see him win an Oscar. It'd make me very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
let's do it.
I agree. My pick is Paul Raci from Sound of Metal. He plays as Joe. And it's I felt like it was a really solid performance in the movie that really grounded like the themes of the film as well in like as it interweaved with his performance and like how his character was written. It just felt so natural and it really empathetic, and I really like every time he was talking my eyes were just glued to the screen. Not that anything else was caused me to drift away from the screen, but like I was really paying attention when Paul Raci was on there. And yeah, I love Sound of Metal, and that's my pick.
That's fair.
It's a phenomenal performance. He's great in it.
It's a good pick.
I would have loved to have seen David Strathairn from Nomadland pop in, because I think him and oh god, it's not Swaggy. What's her name? There's a supporting actress from Nomadland who is also phenomenal, who I also think should have been nominated, but I think the performances for both of them were really good. Swanky, not Swaggy, Swanky. My bad. No, but I would have loved to have seen David Strathairn nominated here, but I also think the nominees they have are good, and I would love a Paul Raci win here. I think it'd be really nice.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's all of them. You know, like we said, all of them are great. You know, there's some problems with how certain people are categorized, but other than that, solid pick. Best Actress. We have Viola Davis from Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Andra Day from United States versus Billie Holiday, Vanessa Kirby from Pieces of a Woman, Frances McDormand from Nomadland, and Carey Mulligan from Promising Young Woman. And we are all in.
We all went hardcore for Carey Mulligan.
We did, despite the fact that she's lost basically everything leading up to this.
This is, I don't know, for everything I've seen her in, this is the best performance for her by far. Not that she was bad before, but like this is like even better. So like now I was really blown away by it. So if she doesn't get it, I don't know what to do with my
iconic.
life.
I think it's her time.
I've already told you. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Listen,
Yeah.
Viola won SAG. Andra won the Golden Globe. Like, Carrie wasn't nominated at the BAFTAs.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's
She was on SNL though.
there's a huge case to make for Carrie's not winning, but also I will not pick Carey Mulligan to win because her performance is phenomenal. I think it's personally the best performance of the year. I think she killed the game. It's immediately iconic. Everything she did, every single performance, her facial expressions, like Carey Mulligan is a chameleon in this film. She looks different in every scene. And I would love to see her win. That being said, I think this entire category is stacked. And if any one of them win, it would be deserving. Vanessa Kirby in Pieces of a Woman, I wish people were still talking about that enough because that film and her in particular, wow, amazing.
I haven't seen it yet,
I
but
mean-
I'm definitely watching it later this week.
You know,
It's a lot.
it could go to Vanessa Kirby, and just by like remembering last year, like Renee Zellweger getting it for Judy, which was a movie that nobody saw except me, I guess. So I was really excited.
But I think Renee would be the Andra Day this year for me, though. Because that's
okay.
like the music, film, you know.
Yeah, you're
But,
totally
I mean,
right. Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
biopic.
I think any one of them could pop out and win, and it would not be surprising. But also, if Carrie doesn't win, it would. I think it would be a repeat of me when I watched the Oscars in like 2019, and like Green Book was winning, and like all of that mess was happening, and I literally was sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
That would hurt me a lot.
Yeah.
Kevin, I didn't get to read actors. You skipped over me, so can I read actor? Is that okay?
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad.
It's okay, don't worry. Thank you. The nominees for Best Actor are Riz Ahmed, Sound of Metal, Chadwick Boseman, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Anthony Hopkins, The Father, Gary Oldman, Mank, and Stephen Yeun for Minari.
Once again, stacked.
Yeah, well,
another-
Gary
I don't
Oldman's
know.
there, but
Yeah.
it's stacked,
So
sure.
like, that's a miscast. No, for me, it's a real toss-up between Riz Ahmed and Chadwick Boseman, but I want it to go to Chadwick Boseman because this is the last year he'd be eligible for it, and he's amazing in Mom Ready's Black Bottom.
Absolutely.
So it's like, just give it to Chadwick. He deserves it.
Yeah.
I think regardless of him passing away, literally regardless of that, I think even in this category, he still deserves to win. Like the performances between Riz and Anthony and Steven are all incredibly tight and they're all incredibly phenomenal, but Chadwick just blew it out of the water. Like no one else could have done that. No one else could have done that as well. And, you know, part of me wants to, you know, Anthony Hopkins in The Father was phenomenal. And part of me is like, yeah, give it to him any other year. But I think the combined factor of Chadwick's performance is phenomenal, combined with the fact of his tragic passing, and this would be the last time to honor him. Absolutely. I think they're going to give it to Chadwick, and it would be 100% deserving.
What about you, Cassie?
Yeah, I also put down Chadwick. I'm hoping and praying.
Hoping and praying. What about you, Tiffany?
Yeah, I mean, I love Chadwick Boseman. I didn't see the movie though, so that's why I don't know, but I believe you guys. You guys make a really good argument. So I was like leaning towards Chadwick Boseman and Anthony Hopkins, but The Father is just, it has a really special place in my heart, so that's why I chose that one. But I mean, it could go either way, and I would be okay with it.
Steven Yeun is great in Minari, but I don't know about how you feel, Kyler and Cassie. Like, I felt like he was the weakest performance in that, even though like his performance was really good.
I think his character is just very subtle in a lot of the things that he does, so it doesn't allow as much of like a quote unquote bold performance,
right?
As much as the other characters do that have a lot more, you know, conflict within themselves and the environments. Besides just, you know, for Steven Yeun's character, it's the farm. You know, there's a lot of other things that these other characters worry about, and so I think that might play into it. But I also think his performance is still like you said, still absolutely phenomenal. But it is definitely more understated than any of the other performances here or in the film.
I also want to point out for Best Actress, Han Yeri from Minari, who plays the wife, I felt like was snubbed from Best Actress.
Absolutely. She's phenomenal. That category
so
actress,
good in
though,
that
it's so tight this year.
Yeah.
Like, it's so tight.
More
we
nominees.
Should have 6.
Gotta get
Literally, we should have
10
like 8 nominees in actress this year.
10
and
spots,
like
every
4 in
category.
actor.
All right. Best Director, Tiffany.
That me? Yay. Okay. The nominees for Best Director are Thomas Vinterberg for Another Round, David Fincher for Mank, Lee Isaac Chung for Minari, Chloe Zhao for Nomadland, and Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman.
So we're a little split on this one. But Tiffany, what's your pick?
My pick is Emerald Fennell because it is my favorite movie of the year. And so but it could go to Chloe too, and I would be just as ecstatic. So those are my 2 picks, I guess I should say.
What about you, Kyler?
I was so happy to see Emerald nominated here because I love Promising Young Woman. It's Chloe Zhao. Like, the steam is there. Like, every competitive award that she's been up for, director, where she's been nominated, she hasn't lost. Like, I've never seen anything like this. Also, I think her direction in this film is just absolutely brilliant. I think every performance she gets out of the actors in the film and the non-actors who are still in the film, along with just in general, basically, this is her film. Like, she owns it. Like, this is hers. Like, so it's amazing to me to get to see this. And also, like, I want to see her win. I think it'll be amazing. And I love all of her speeches that she's given. And think her work on The Writer from a couple years ago was brilliant. And she should have been nominated then. And I'm so excited to see what she does with Eternals. Chloe Zhao is a genius. I'm so excited. I 100% am putting behind her. I would put money on her winning.
Chloe.
Or Emerald. Honestly, any woman winning or Lee Isaac Chung winning would make me so happy.
The fact that there are 2 in the category being nominated at the same time at all is amazing.
The fact that we almost got 3. The fact that we almost got 3.
Oh my God. Regina King snubbed. Oh my God.
The day that we
Would've been
have
so
all
nice.
women in the best director will be a wild
That
day.
could have happened
Yeah.
last year. That should have happened last year,
Yeah.
except for Bong, of course. But
But
director Bong is a genius.
thankfully, there've been a lot of pushes to get women front and center in most of these. Like, still no women in cinematography. I don't think again, but it is. Here we are.
True. You know, they
One day.
got, women got one win a couple years ago, so we got to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I don't think there's also any women nominated in score after a single woman won last year for score for the first time.
Yeah.
Joker, yeah.
Well, cinematography, she was only nominated. She didn't win, right? So
Oh, you're totally right.
So, like,
Rachel
there
Weisz.
hasn't
been a
No, but
woman
she
who's
won the
won
next year for
cinematography.
Black Panther.
yeah, there hasn't been a woman who's won period for cinematography. But nonetheless,
Really?
I don't think so. I might
I
be
thought
wrong.
Black Panther.
Oop.
Maybe I'm a psychopath. That's quite possible. Let's see. Maybe
guess
I'm
so.
just really optimistic and I just want it to be true.
Warp your own reality.
Y'all keep
'Cause-
talking. I'm gonna find it.
Cassie.
Yeah, because Rachel Morrison was the first to be nominated for best cinematography, but she didn't win.
Rip.
I don't think. Unless I'm crazy. Yeah, just nominated for Mudbound.
Yeah, because I don't think. I think Black Panther won best costume design. I don't think it won best cinematography though.
It didn't. No, I'm
No.
crazy. It won a lot of other things though.
It did.
What
but-
did win that year?
It's all right. We know the answer to this
It was
question.
Roma that year.
Just hire more
And
women.
Black Panther wasn't nominated.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Hire more women, and congratulations, you'll have solved the lack of women in the industry. Amazing.
Amazing how easy that would be.
Yeah.
That is the answer. Just hire
Yeah.
more. But
Can I just say, I just realized this. This is like, this year's nominations are so like incredible in terms of representation and diversity, but I don't think there's a single like LGBT anything nominated this year.
That's true.
Which I don't think there were like, I think the only film that was like LGBT themed was Ammonite. And I think that, and Portrait of a Lady on Fire would have been contender last year if they had pushed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. Maybe this year, fingers crossed.
Think about the SNL sketch lesbian period drama.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So good. So good.
There were some LGBT movies that came out last year. They were recognized in the Independent Spirit Awards, but they're like not really in circulation, so it's kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're obviously not here at all. So, which is interesting.
Which is interesting, but I mean, I'm not going to be upset about the makeup of the films here this year and the people nominated because
Yeah,
phenomenal.
it's pretty
steps
good.
are being made. It's exciting.
Yeah.
I was watching the live stream of the first year of Oscars So White, and I was like, what is happening?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Cassie, you chose Chloe Zhao for Best Director.
Yes.
Anything you want to add to that?
No, she's just amazing and 10 out of 10.
Chloe
Please.
Zhao all the way.
Chloe forever.
Amen.
Chloe,
Yeah.
hire me to work on all your
Oh,
projects.
woman,
You seem
my
great.
bad.
No, I mean, like, for me, it's kind of a coin toss. Well, a three-sided coin toss, question mark, between Minari, Nomadland, and Promising Young Woman, just to be different. And because I love Minari, I'm going to choose Minari for Best Director. Lee Isaac-Chung did a really great job. It's one of those, the way I view Best Director is like, okay, you give a script to a different director, or like with just the same amount of skill or whatever, and like, will they produce the same film and will it be just as good? With Minari, and same thing with Nomadland and Promising Young Woman, I say the answer is no. Like, these are directors that they have their fingerprints in their movie, and Minari is one of them as well. Even though it may not seem like it, the fingerprint is there.
Yeah.
Cool. And now,
So Cassie gets to read picture.
Best Picture.
Oh, what everybody is here
Give
and
us your
waiting
best,
for.
Cassie.
All right, nominated for Best Picture: The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari. I said that bad. Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, and The Trial of the Chicago 7.
Nice. What do you pick, Cassie?
I put Nomadland. Surprise! Nobody's surprised that I chose
Chloe all
that.
the way.
Chloe all the way. I want it. I believe in it. Hope.
Hope.
I'll help. I also picked Nomadland. Yeah, I think just in the structure of this, I genuinely think there's only really like a very small handful of films that could actually really potentially win. And Nomadland seems to be the one that's really like the front runner. Like it seems to be the one that is being most accessible, that people are most relating to, having a phenomenal performance, having a phenomenal screenplay, cinematography, director, like all around. It seems like that would just be the one. Like for me, that would be it. If I was picking, I would pick Promising Young Woman. And if that were to happen, you would not catch me being upset about it. I would literally start bursting into tears. But I think that it's one of the ones that has enough of the nominations and support behind it to do it. But I think for me, looking at it, it's Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Trial of Chicago 7, or Minari. Or, I mean, if Sound of Metal ranks high enough and the way the ballot system works breaks down and gets out enough, like, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But I'm going with Nomadland. That's my pick.
Fair. What about you, Tiffany?
Yeah, I'm going with Judas and the Black Messiah. I mean, I agree with Kyler. If Promising Young Woman won, that would be like a dream. But I'm kind of trying to go like my answer here is going with a little logic. If I remember correctly, Judas and the Black Messiah, I think was the last film to be filtered into the nominations. I don't know if it was the sole reason why they pushed back the Oscars, but I think they wanted Judas and the Black Messiah to be like eligible to be nominated. So they pushed the dates back. And so I think that there's a reason for that. And I think Judas and the Black Messiah is going to win. Not saying it's going to be rigged, but I think that they really wanted to give it a fair shot. And
I agree with you. You're kind of, you're touching on it. I think the interesting thing with Judas for me, when the nominations dropped and we got Judas in Best Picture and we didn't get Ma Rainey or One Night in Miami, I think that said something for me, because I was at first confused, because I was like, between those three films, Judas and the Black Messiah is arguably the most difficult one to watch. It is the one that sparks the most difficult dialogue, the one that covers the most difficult conversation topics. Like of those three films that like really speak on the discussion of race in the country with those three films, like Judas was the one that was the least accessible in that type of route. And it ended up going over the other two. And I think that says something, a lot of it, kind of like what Tiffany was saying, it says a lot about, what they believe behind that film. And so that's a potential that really could pop in there. That could be like I was saying earlier with Sound of Metal, where it ranks high enough and people just really push it through. And I think that'd be really cool, honestly. I'd be kind of like, whoa.
I really want to see it win too, because it is in my top 5 for last year. And I would be pleasantly surprised, while also like, it would make sense if it won Best Picture to me, just because of how well it was done.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're all good contenders. My pick is Sound of Metal. I feel like that's the only film I've watched here where at the end I was like, woof. There was like the way that it all culminates together, the writing, the performances, the direction, the cinematography, the sound design, the editing, it just all creates one cinematic experience that just felt like, yes, like this is cinema, like this is Best Picture worthy right here. So it's just, I just thought it was great. I mean, Judas and the Black Messiah would also love for that to win Best Picture. Same with Mank, Minari, Nomadland, and Promising Young Woman. No, not Mank. Sorry, forget I said Mank.
Like,
no,
what?
I was about to say, Kevin, you have crapped on Mank the entire time, and now all of a sudden, Best Picture, Mank. Okay.
God,
I hate Mank. Best Picture.
I do have a question really quick, actually, for everyone. If y'all could pick one film that is not nominated in Best Picture to be nominated in Best Picture, what one would you pick?
Palm Springs.
Yeah.
You would say Palm Springs?
Yeah.
No, let
Tiffany?
me think on it for a second. Cassie, what do you think?
No, I'm trying to think.
I 100%. I really, really, really love Ma Rainey, and I think it deserves to be in here. That being said, I 100% would nominate Borat's subsequent movie film delivery of Prodigious Bride to American Regime for Make Fun of It One Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan for Best Picture, because talk about a film that perfectly captures the zeitgeist of America right now and what we are going through and what the world is going through and how chaotic and messy it is. And I just think it's perfect. I think it's the film of last year. I think it perfectly encapsulates everything that happened and everything that's going on. And I think it's brilliant. I was very sad that it wasn't there. They said The Father, and it was the first one. I was recording myself, and I was like, oh no.
See,
I really wanted. They would have said Borat first, and I was like, oh dang.
I totally don't know how I didn't notice that. The best picture list is always so long that I never realize what's missing because I'm like they're all there. I'm like they're all there. But no, I agree. I think Borat should be there. I think so too.
I think if it was a 10-year, Borat would be there. I think if it was next year is the first year that they are for sure there will be 10 nominated every time.
Yeah.
Which I think this year should have been the first year because we would have gotten Borat in there, and I think we would have gotten Ma
Rainey, maybe.
Ma Rainey.
Yeah, Ma Rainey. Yeah. I think we would have gotten Ma Rainey. And I think that would have been a really, really hot 10. It would have been really good. But, you know, I think this is, regardless, I still think this is a very solid 8. I think it's a good 8. I wish maybe Mank wasn't there.
Mank
but
and Trial Chicago 7.
Yeah,
I don't want them there.
I don't understand why
Netflix
Mank
has
is there.
money.
Yeah.
It's because it's literally Oscar bait. Like, it's the film for Oscar bait.
That's true.
Like, it's the one.
Yeah.
But
If Mank or Chicago 7 won, I'd be like, no, please stop. If the Father won, I'd be like, okay, it's fine, I guess. I mean, The Father never really struck me as Best Picture worthy. It's just more like it was a really good movie. But then, you know, Judas and Black Messiah, Minari, Nomadland, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, those are all Best Picture worthy to me. So
Yeah. I was a little nervous. Like I was like, oh man, I bet Promising Young Woman is not going to make Best Picture cut. I don't know why.
I was so scared.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, they're going to frame it as like, oh, it's not Oscar worthy enough. But like to me it was. So I'm like really feel very validated that the Academy thought so as well. I was like, yay.
Same. That's how I felt with Borat. I was like, they like it. They really like it. I'm crazy.
Yeah.
and then no Best Picture.
Yeah, I really slapped to the face right there at the end. They had me in the first half, not gonna lie.
I am also surprised just because like the discourse, I'm not saying Tenet should be there. I'm just surprised that it's not for some reason.
That's fair.
I don't know
It
why.
wasn't amazing.
No, it wasn't.
If it was like Inception level good, then like we could talk, but like it just, I feel like it's too confusing and there's just too much going on with it. Like,
and
it came out early.
Yeah.
yes,
true.
that summer factor. I think that's what also hurt. Kevin, forgive me if I'm wrong. It's a never, rarely, always, sometimes.
Never, sometimes. Wait, hold on. Never, sometimes. No, never, rarely, sometimes, always. There it is.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Like that film was huge and had so much love behind it, and it easily could have gotten in a couple categories. But I think its release date hurt it. Same with First Cow. First Cow is phenomenal. That got hurt by release date. You know, I think anything released before like September of this year really didn't stand a chance.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Everybody again was just looking for
wish it had subtitles.
Yeah. Everybody earlier, we were just all like, I want things to make me not think about the world. So like anything that we would normally be like, this is a Best Picture consideration. Nobody, I feel like, went and saw it because we're all like, how do I feed into my escapism?
Bring back Charlie Chaplin movies.
Yeah, it was a lot of what can I watch that's not too heavy?
Not gonna make me sad.
Love and Monsters. There you go.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, right? Oh my gosh.
Minari just makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. All right. So that's our predictions for the Oscars, 93rd Academy Awards. And right now we want to have a little bit of a bonus game right now. A friend of the podcast, Danny Vincent, has another podcast called The Snub Club that reviews one film from every Academy Awards that fits a single criteria. The film must have the most nominations, but no wins. Which film do you think will fit the criteria this year? As we mentioned, Mank has 10 nominations. The Father, Judas and Black Messiah, Minari, Nomadland, Sound of Metal, and Trial of Chicago 7 has 6 nominations. Ma Rainey, Black Bottom, and Promising Young Woman has 5 nominations. News of the World, 4 nominations. One Night in Miami, ... and Soul has 3 nominations. And then there's a bunch that has 2 nominations, but you know, the list is a little too long.
Yeah.
But so what do you guys think will get? What do you guys think will have the most nominations, but 0 wins? Cassie, you want to go first?
Sure. I think mine's the one that breaks the most hearts, but I think it's
take.
going to be Promising Young Women.
Rip.
I think it deserves what it's getting and like what its nominations are, but I don't think that the Academy will vote for it. Especially in comparison to some of the other things. I'm sorry.
I hope you're wrong. If it wins nothing, Cassie, I will sob for days. I will call out of work actually, no, I won't be working the next day. I would be so very physically upset if that happened.
Yeah, I just wouldn't be surprised. Like
valid.
It like as sad as it would be, like I feel like it's not what they're usually looking for. So just because it's what I want doesn't mean it's what's gonna be happening.
Yeah.
So that's my sad take.
Yeah, for me, I'm betting on Trial of Chicago 7 not winning anything. I want to do Mank because I really don't want that to win anything, but also it's got 10 nominations, so I'm scared that it might win one thing. So I'm gonna say Trial of Chicago 7. Movie sucks, doesn't deserve to win anything. What about you, Tiffany?
Yeah, I'm going to go with The Father because although the ones that I chose for The Father that I kind of like want to win, and I really, really did love that movie, I feel like, you know, with its release was kind of rocky and it kind of fell out of the under the radar. And by the time it kind of got released to public audiences, no one really cared about it. And it doesn't seem like the critics that got to see it really care about it that much anymore either. I don't know. I think it's one of those movies that isn't as prominent as some of the other ones. And although I really love it, I think that one's gonna fall.
I don't know.
Fall pretty far.
Oh.
I'm banking on it for best editing. So
I hope so.
I agree with Tiffany. I feel like The Father's the more realistic one for me to go though. I picked Mank. Last year we saw it happen with The Irishman. It was nominated for 10 Oscars and did not win a single Oscar. And I feel like that could happen again this year. You know, I think that the categories that Mank are nominated in, there are other films and other things that are way more competitive against it. I think if Mank's going to win anything, it's going to be in like production design or one of those like, not one of like the main big categories, but even then, I don't know. I think the competition is just too strong, but I think it's either going to be Mank or The Father.
watch Mank win them
Or
all.
Trial.
Mank
honestly.
wins all.
Literally
I will
watch
cry.
Mank win everything.
I will cry.
It'll be like Gary Oldman for Mank, and everyone's just like,
What?
No.
no.
I think it would be
Best
hilarious
cinematography,
if
Mank.
I think it would be hilarious if Mank won nothing. I think it would be hilarious just
I
because
hope
It'd
it
be
wins
so
nothing.
nice. Because didn't Citizen Kane win like everything?
Yeah.
Possibly.
I think so.
So like, you know, it's called The Narrative.
Take that, Mankiewicz.
Take that, Mankiewicz. You're never gonna get your Oscar.
No Oscars for you.
No Oscars for you.
Damn, we really just hate Mank, don't we? And then Kevin's over here, Stan of Metal over here.
Yeah. Stand up metal. There we go. That's Kevin Stand Up Metal Loud. That's going to be my handle for this
Yeah.
season.
That's hilarious.
All right.
gosh.
Any closing thoughts
Insane.
before we end the episode? Gone on for
it was-
almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
fun.
It was very fun. It was so nice. I hadn't ever gotten to meet or speak with Cassie or Tiffany before this, so it was so nice to get to meet with both of you and get to
Yeah.
speak with you and get to hear all your stuff. It was awesome, and then of course getting to be back, Kevin, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
It was so nice. I love discussing the Oscars, so this was literally like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
And now we just have to watch it all together and drink booze and cry over the lack of
One day.
the lack of winning for Promising Young Women.
I feel
Oh my
like
gosh.
I
Take
feel
a
like
shot
maybe
every time Mank wins something.
we should.
I did that when Green Book won.
Oh my god.
Bad.
We'll
Bad. Don't do that.
We'll just do a Zoom. We'll do a Zoom thing. We'll just
Zoom thing.
yeah.
Brilliant.
We'll do a watch party
I'm
of the
down.
Oscars.
I know.
We
I
should
was
dress
just
up
gonna
super
say,
fancy too.
like some sort of group chat, if not a Zoom call or something. So we
Oh,
could all
yes.
like react together. That'd be so fun.
At the very least, a group chat, please.
Yeah.
For
I
sure.
don't know. I think we should do black tie Wear your best Oscar outfit.
Wear a black tie, wear my PJs.
I will wear my Don't Mess with Texas shirt.
Ooh, I'll wear mine too.
Perfect, twinsies.
Hey. Well, this has been Committed Critics. Thank you guys for listening to this extra long bonus episode of the Oscars predictions. A really great conversation with everyone here. And if you're, like I said in the middle of the episode, if you are interested in watching any of these films, a link will be in the description to tell you where each of them are streaming readily available or if they are available in distribution in the United States. You can follow us on Twitter at Committed Crits, that's COMMITTED, You can follow us on YouTube, spelled the same there as it is here everywhere else. Full name, Committed Critics. And Cassie, did you have anything you want to plug?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My handle is at Cassie Story, CASSIESSTORY.
Tiffany, anything you want to plug?
Yeah, sure. You can read my film reviews at crpwrites.com. That's CRPWRITES.com.
Nice. And Kyler?
You can find me at Pop Culture Kyler on Instagram. That's mostly where I'm operating off of. Very sparse posting, but there's also a link there to my main Instagram as well if you'd like to follow that. Yeah, I'm also on Letterboxd, link in my Instagram bio.
Ooh, I'm going to follow that Letterboxd. You can support us on Patreon in the link below. Just $1 or $2 a month really helps the show and channel to grow. Special thanks to our current patron, Davey Peppers of Game Mechanics. Be sure to check out his YouTube channel as well. Special thanks to Zach, who edits the episode, and Jordan Smearman for being our sound engineer. And we will see you this Wednesday when we talk about Spider-Man. And bye-bye.
Bye.